Hi guys, and this is Alex, and welcome to another video. And today we are going to be talking about something that we haven't talked about in a while. I haven't made a video about this since it came out. Today we are going to be talking about not only Elden Ring, but also its DLC that came out. I actually don't even remember, 1 year ago, 1 to 2 years ago. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, guys, let's get right into the video. So pause there. Anyway, guys, so basically I was like, you know what, running a little bit short on motivation here. I don't really know what to make a video on. I don't want to make a reaction because, quite frankly, I don't have enough people subscribed and views for people to care about my reaction on things. I might not be entertaining enough. And plus I'm still working out like a green screen situation. Or a camera for that matter. So I was like, you know what? Elden Ring Night Rain came out, not a total bust, but not my favorite game ever. But, I saw Vadi Video, one of my favorite lore creators, come out with a video around lore. And, I love those types of videos. And whenever I watch one of those videos, if you guys have seen the last one of these that I made, really pumps me up for, playing Elden Ring. I'm like, oh shit, I want to play Elden Ring. So I've played through Elden Ring around 4-5 times at this point. With different characters, I've gotten to New Game Plus 7, a few on those, and passed it, of course. But there are a few things, right, that I need to talk about with the DLC, because I never really made a video on it. Kind of motivation fell off last kind of summer cycle with this, but let's get into it. So I've played a lot of Elden Ring. I've played through the DLC 3 times, and DLC with help, of course. I'm not a very good Elden Ring player. By the Souls community, I would be considered a very bad Elden Ring player. In the main game, I don't use summons, but in the DLC, first go around, I did definitely have to use summons. I really couldn't defeat it without them, because I'm not that good of a player. I've played the Souls games, barely got out with my teeth. Yeah, by the skin of my teeth. That's what I was going for. Anyway, guys, so some things about this Elden Ring DLC and some things about Elden Ring that just make it completely timeless. And I've said some of these points before, but it's good to reiterate them. One of the biggest things about Elden Ring, and some of the Souls games that are still being played today, like on a regular basis. Orange Peanut is going through his Dark Souls playthrough. But basically the thing is that, which I've been watching that Souls playthrough. Basically, the thing is that Elden Ring has a bigger ability to replay it because of the fact that it's open world. A lot of parts of Elden Ring in my first playthrough I never had been to. I might not have been to a cave. I might not have been to a certain castle. I might not have been able to a certain manor or a big area. I might not have found it. Maybe I skipped past a major area. Maybe I just missed the Asofa River well, right? And so going through that and seeing that, it allows so much replayability, allows so much stuff, and because there is innate and complete detail in every corner of the map, in every part of the map. There's caves everywhere, there's different things everywhere, there's different items everywhere, there's different armors scattered around, there's different enemies that I all want to explore. And by the way, I've 100%ed Elden Ring, so I've done pretty much all the achievements, but the thing is I still haven't found every weapon. I still haven't found every single armor piece. I've just done the main stuff. And it's really, really cool to be able to play a game over and over and over again. And now with the DLC, it just adds more replayability to that. We're going to get into some of the gripes I have with the DLC and some of the good things I have about the DLC. But let's first get into just more of the game. Um, Basically, there's an endless amount of builds that you can do. Endless amount of builds, your stats endless. You can tweak that however you want. Purely customizable. For me, that really likes historical games and like stuff like that, honestly, it's actually pretty cool to get into. Like, oh, I'm like, I want to be a knight. Instead of going playing Mordhau, I just hop on Elden Ring. Change my stats around a little bit because larval teals are very, very easy to come by now, or they've been if after your like first playthrough, they're very easy to come by. And just redo all my stuff. Boom, I have this cool ass knight set up, and I go and I fight a few bosses with it, have a little bit of fun. And even if if I've already done the main game bosses, I just, oh, well, in this I don't see a site of grace over there, or I don't see a site of grace over there. What? Well, why not I go over in that area, explore? Oh, I've just found a cave. I just found a catacomb. Let's go through here. Let's see what enemies in there. And a lot of the time, once I've done this many playthroughs, it might be the same enemy that I've fought in before. Sometimes you'll get surprised. Oh, I didn't think that there was a one of the one of the omen hunters, or one of the what are they? The people in the Colosseum. Gladiators. Oh, I didn't think there was a gladiator here. Oh, there's a gladiator here. Oh, that's really, really cool. And another thing is with this is, so I've actually set New Game 7 multiple times. I actually just recently, well, last like Elden Ring play cycle that I was on, because I cycle through my games. I actually had just found these spiky balls after so many hours and so much playthrough. I had only just discovered them. Only just found that thing. Only just found that item. And now, after I'm done using the completely broken weapon that I'm using right now. By the way, the footage from today is on a new character. This is the first time through New Game Plus 0. So that's why I'm using a kind of good weapon. Just because I'm severely, under-leveled, and I'm not very good at the game in general, and especially when I'm playing Radon, that can get very, very difficult to do with a different build. Even though the DLC weapons, a lot of them are very, very good, and the main ones that you get are very, very overpowered for the base game. But we'll get back into the video. Next playthrough I'm running a full strength Big Iron Balls playthrough, which should be very, very fun. I might post some of that. Excuse my burp. Let's get back into it. So all of this stuff, right? All of this stuff allows for so much replayability. And I'm thinking I'm going to separate the DLC video into a separate video just because there's a lot of content right here. But yeah, all this replayability is so good. The other thing is, the game's music, the game's atmosphere, it's so beautiful. Every single area in the game is made full of detail, so cool. You can see everything. You can look at everything. Everything has detail to it. There's in some biomes, there's little rabbits scurrying around. There's some other life forms and stuff. Oh, in one area you're looking around, right? You come across a great lake. And on that great lake is a huge dragon. You have to go across it. If you go to the side, you find a cave that has a precursor to an enemy that you'll fight. And then you'll go in, and you'll go the other way, and you'll find a great castle where you find a part of a medallion that leads to a secret land. And in that secret land is the hardest boss in the game. Well, for other people, not me, because I'm just that good. But, and a completely new area, like big, huge area that you would not, actually two big, huge areas that you would not be able to find without getting those two medallions, one of which is just on some hobo that's in the middle of an Albinoric village. And also the lore, it's deep in lore. Why is that Albinoric village destroyed and everything? Why is there an omen hunter in that village? Because Albinorics were these cast down. They weren't seen as valid life forms, right? So they were cast down and hunted down and killed. And that's why, you see a lot of, Albinor, stuff like that, in bad areas and stuff like that. But yeah, very, very cool. Lore and deep. There's even lore for like a little side thing, which is crazy. Crazy. You have lore for the under like area. You have lore for Ron. You have lore for all these different quests. The lore extends past main characters and past main quest lines, past main endings, into actual substance that is covered the entire game. You go into a random area, there's gonna be lore there. There's gonna be lore there. There's just gonna be lore there. You know, you go to a random church. That church might have significance, right? You go to, and also the other thing is I need to read more up on it, but just the connection before DLC, even the DLC is more questions than answers to me personally. There's a lot of cool stuff that connects it, like Midra and stuff like that. You know, connections like, you know, the different overworlds and the different times where, oh, you had like a era when the fingers ruled it. Oh, you had an era where the dragons ruled it. Oh, you had an area where the dragon was actually the first. There's an area before the Elden Ring, and when the Elden Ring came down, Pasigisax, or whoever that huge secret boss is, was the first Elden Lord. And then after that, it's drowned out because they don't want a dragon as the first Elden Lord, because there's this huge battle, and it's just so deep, it's so cool, and that's why I love Elden Ring, because every single time I come back, I learn something new about the game. I get deeper in the lore, I get more into it, I love it, the story, I love the gameplay, I love fighting bosses, even if they're extremely difficult, and that's why Elden Ring is so good, because, and why it got so famous. Because it allows people that are bad at Souls games, like me, to have a chance. I will never use magic, but I will use a bonk. I will use a bonk setup, and it works pretty damn well. You know, I, not under a good impression when I first played through the game, was like, oh, there's a Rivers of Blood katana. I'm just going to pick that up and do good with that. And then, you know, I came to a boss that I couldn't fight with it. Because, of course, my stats were all messed up. So, you know what I grabbed? I just grabbed a big stick, right, and tried to go at it, right, or a katana and tried to go at it, big katana or whatever, even though that's not even true. I probably just used a different katana or something like that, or I'd probably just use something else. But, yeah, I just used a big bonk stick or something else, and then you add the DLC and there's so much weapons, and now you can bring those weapons and that armor into the main game to add more and more replayability for the main game. And then also it adds another whole loop to it where you have all these bosses and stuff like that. And now whenever I go through a playthrough, I'm like, yo, you know what? Wait, I really should go back. I really, wait, what is it? I really, to finish my playthrough, I feel like I have to kill all the DLC bosses, or the main DLC bosses. Because even though I've played the DLC 3 times, I still haven't found every corner, I still haven't defeated every boss, I still haven't collected every legendary weapon, I still haven't collected every stone, I still haven't killed every fire beast, right? Which, you know, it's just so cool, it's just such an amazing game, and if there's another DLC, I'll be happy to play it, I'll be happy to relish it, and I really hope they do. And I hope they make, instead of making like the shoot off that is Night Rain, even though it's alright, you know, I really, really hope they make like an Elden Ring 2 or something like that, or like a DLC that just expands the thing. And I'll be making another video about this Elden Ring, like my gripes and review of the Elden Ring DLC, and talking about my problems with it and the stuff that I like about it. But that's pretty much the end of the video, guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I'm going a little bit over on my time, so I'll probably have to play some more, which I'm not complaining. Good day to you guys, good night to me, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Have a beautiful day.
Lord Brother. At long last you are returned. Tarnished one, aspiring lord of the old order. If you have known sin, if you grieve for this world, then yield the path forward to us. To I, Mikola, and my promised